Welcome back. At the end of the hour, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 888-298-KKNW or 888-298-5569. You can even call and vent about the atrocity of the Mariners or even the best way to deal with unforeseen complications that are running around. Ryan Leopold joins us again. Welcome back, Ryan.
Great. Thanks for having me, Ben.
You know, I just had mentioned in the Mortgage Minute about lenders pulling out of lending.
Yeah.
And it's happening. I mean, it's people think they have a loan, and it's not always there. I mean, it just speaks volumes to what's going on out there.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that one. A couple weeks ago, we had a bank pull out, and even if your loan is locked and in process, they weren't going to honor that commitment.
It could have been approved, and you could have signed your documents, and they weren't going to honor it.
They weren't going to fund it on any side.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then I was just saying that as we're on the air, I was checking email, another bank pulled out of doing business, at least on the HARP refinance side, which is a big deal, because it all comes down to this massive amount of transactions that hit the market over the last couple of weeks, like Clinton Dornell we're talking about.
Right. So what do you end up doing? I mean, you try to prepare people through education, through everything, basically, education and giving them all the information they need, consultation. And sometimes, what would you say is the easiest way to get people to that smooth and uneventful transaction, even barring a lender pulling out? These are tough things to deal with.
Yeah, and I think whether it's where the market is today or wherever it's been over the last 14 years of being in the industry, at the end of the day, the consumer, us in the mortgage world, our real estate partners out there, the overall goal really is everybody wants a smooth and uneventful transaction. Okay? That's what creates a meaningful experience. It's the biggest purchase most people make in their lives. And, our job is to do everything we can to get to that point. Okay? But the lending side is such a huge factor in that if anything goes wrong or you're not down the perfect path, you're not going to have a smooth and uneventful transaction, which can create a lot of stress and anxiety. And it's not fun. And right now, what's happened the last 2 or 3 weeks is making it even that much more challenging to have that smooth and eventful transaction. And, how important it is to have your ducks in a row today more than ever. I
mean, that's really unforeseen. When lenders pull out, they don't tell people, hey, we're going to pull out next week, right? I mean, they just do it. Mm-hmm. And, I was talking earlier about the Mariners and how they couldn't serve beer, they couldn't get their credit card machines working. This is kind of that same thing. People show up, they're ready to buy something, and they can't. My thought here is, though, is a good professional lender would say, okay, we aren't going to be able to do this, but you need to call Everbank directly. Or you need to call a certain bank directly. Isn't there an element of professionals, even if you're preparing somebody and something comes up, you got to be able to solve the problem, even if it's not as a client?
I think it's both ends. Number one, we have to be prepared and organized today more than ever. And we have to have backup plans available, without a doubt, even if it's us not doing the mortgage or if it's working with another lender who can actually accomplish the goal. But that's our job as professionals, to have plan A, B, and C available from day one, not at the last minute. So we have to, I think today, the professionals have, at least on the mortgage side, have to have those options available for the clients and have them ready to go. And from the client side, they have to be more organized and structured and prepared today more than they ever have been, simply from the changes that have happened. And, clients can control this experience they have if they make the right decisions now.
Well, I think Clint would tell you that immediately, right? They're reviewing offers with who's got the best offer. Well, the best offer, you have to be the most prepared to have the best offer. And the best pre-approval, or right?
I'm telling you, you want to do everything these days. From my perspective, I would say you want to have 100% prepared pre-approval package in place with all supporting documents. And as each week and as each month progresses, that you're updating your lender with your stuff. Okay, that's one way you as a buyer can be prepared and organized and structured. Number two, you simply want to have communication with your partners, and when you're making offers, that you maybe work back to the day of having a really good cover letter on the offer, explains how qualified they are, how much they love the house and they can't wait to raise their family there, and anything to get that seller more motivated to take that buyer. And then I think on our side, if we just talk with the listing agent and let them know that we're handling the deal, we know what we're doing, and they're a great qualified buyer, that they have nothing to worry about. I think all those things would probably help our buyers get into contract for the limited amount of inventory that's actually out there now.
Yeah, and you talk about getting everything done on the front end. Sometimes that is a little harder client experience. People are like, well, I just want to go find a house, then I'll figure out financing. Then, then I'll go find my lender, because the carrot is the house. But the problem is that actually can really ruin, And then buyer's entire experience starting with that they can't get the house and ending with maybe they actually get the contract and they can't close on it because they don't qualify for what they thought they did.
It happened to me this weekend where, I took some time out. Literally, I called the client on Saturday night at 7:00.
After you're done golfing.
And we went through, kind of the pre-qualification questionnaire. I said, hey, let me send this stuff over. Let's touch base on Monday and get you pre-approved. So that way, this houses that you're looking at, you can actually make an offer because you know that financing is ready to go. And he's texting me back, asking me about rates. And he's not quite getting the market right now that really today we have to get you fully prepared and ready. And rates really have to be a secondary concern right now if you want to buy. And we're going to talk about in the second hour what rates really mean moving forward. But right now it needs to be about getting organized and structured, and then rates come second.
Talk about why rates come second also, because, you can't lock a loan without a house.
Or
on a Saturday, for that matter. Or Sunday.
But that's the natural default of most consumers is really going for the rate and fee question when really they have nothing tangible to compare it to. Okay. So he is now, this client in particular is talking to an out-of-state discount broker about getting pre-approved they're trying to make offers without actually getting pre-approved and making his decision on who he's going to send his stuff to based on where rates are today. And maybe that was okay. I guess you could make an argument that was okay 6 months ago, but today it just can't be. We talked a little bit about being prepared and being organized. Just look at what's happening in the market where you went from massive amount of offers being made and a limited amount of inventory being out there. And you had the HARP refinance program all start within the last 20 to 30 days where these lenders were understaffed. Now they're overwhelmed with new business that, your turn times are going to start increasing on underwriting, on conditions, on processing, everything else. So that start to finish is just going to take longer. So you have to be that much more prepared today than ever before.
Ryan, we just have about a minute left before we go to break, but I want to hit on those turn time things again, because I think people hear mortgage speak. Oh, we have this turn times, and then you're so long in underwriting, and then we have conditions. And, I made the joke earlier about, turn times is how long they're going to take to turn around your file and tell us they need more stuff, right? That's pretty much what it is. Yeah. And, I think it's important that people realize there's essentially like competition for underwriters. A perfect file is going to be underwritten quickly. You're not going to have an underwriter ask you for more documentation. So it may seem more painful at the beginning. Oh, they want everything. But the reality is that's what creates the smooth experience.
It's so true. And like I said at the very beginning, I think the client has control. They have a lot more control than they think. That if they put that organized and structured file together, they get what a lender needs in a timely fashion. It has the highest probability of having that smooth and uneventful transaction. And now making sure the loan is actually approvable once you actually find a home and you're in contract, because that time from when it's in contract to the day we have to close, it's crucial that we get that stuff to the right people and you don't have a lag because you don't get things back to a lender in a timely fashion.
Yeah, you can eliminate the hope and pray method.
Yeah, we got to be on it these days.
Yeah,
no doubt.
You hope and pray when you make the offer. Once it gets accepted, you hope that you're not going down that same road, and you're pretty confident the money is going to be there when you need it. Hey, when we come back, everybody's going to join us back on the air. We're going to come to your questions. If you have any questions, reach out 888-298-5569. We'll try to get your question on the air. You're listening to Brashenomics. That's Ryan Leopold. We'll be right back.